Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network.
I have just recently been told, who is the witness today? This is unprecedented. No time for lawyers to prepare. No judge has ever run a trial in such a biased and partisan way. Wait a second, no time. Did you just say no time to prepare? It did not occur to you or your lawyers that the Stormy Daniels hush money trial might involve an appearance by Stormy Daniels?
That's what I said yesterday.
Yes, you did.
Chris, who tweeted, "We have nothing to fear but fear itself. Ask not what your country can do for you. Spank me with a magazine with my face on it."
Bullwinkle.
No,
I know who did that.
I did that. I got it. Look
Oh.
at Fred Gutenberg, among other people, retweeted. Our beloved Fred Gutenberg said, "Oh my God, this from Stephanie Miller Show is the funniest and most horrifying tweet. In addition to spanking, let's not forget that she reminded him of his daughter." Ugh. Bro. Oh, and let's not forget we have the only president that matters sitting in the White House. Yes, we do. Fred, thank you. Yeah, a little compare and contrast. Joe Biden gave a fantastic, president gave a fantastic speech about anti-Semitism and the whole blah, blah, blah. And then,
I just think I'm gonna
Spank me in the face with a magazine?
Yeah, with
No, not in the
his
face.
No, spank him in the butt with his face on the magazine.
Oh.
magazine with
It's
his
even
face on
weirder.
it. Freud's like, "I'm out."
Yeah.
Ew! Jody, can we have you talk amongst yourself. Ew! Can we have a girl? Oh,
Ew.
you're trying to, somebody, you look like my daughter.
Ugh.
Oh, God, there's so much ick. I can't.
And he stopped her from leaving the room, it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, God, I thought, as a lot of analysts said, she was very credible. And I get the judge, saying some of this is too much detail and sustaining objections. But first of all, she's an adult film star talking about having sex. The trial is about her having sex with Donald Trump. So, of course, there's
Well,
going to
the
be...
trial is about the payment.
Right.
Well, yes, but you have to establish, because his
there was
defense
something that
is
happened.
I've never met her, and I have no idea who she is. So of course there has to be.
Yeah.
Joyce Vance had a great. Hang on, hold please. Talk amongst yourself.
You only printed 9 pages
Sorry
of Twitter.
about that.
That's okay.
Things. Oh, just printing my own that got so many likes. Was
Well, that's all that matters.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
the only one that matters.
great presidential quotes in history, because we live in the grossest, stupidest timeline ever.
Yes.
Joyce Vance said the judge is sustaining the defense's objections to the prosecution questions or Stormy's responses about details of her sexual encounter with Trump. But that comes at a cost for the defense, because it makes them look to the jury like they have something to hide.
Exactly. Too many objections
It
makes
was
you look-
embarrassing.
Yeah.
It was personally embarrassing to him, as it should be, because he's a gross, vomitous skis ball. I mean, it's just this whole thing, like all of the. You're right. We didn't even need the details about the tiny mushroom penis, because it was just
Teeny tiny.
But anyway, I thought she was honest about saying she didn't feel threatened, or she wasn't.
still didn't
she's
feel like
never
she could
claiming
leave, though.
sexual assault. But yeah, it was icky. It was.
Yeah.
What did he say? This is how you get out of the trailer park.
Yeah, something like that. It's like,
Put you on the apprentice, like he just, and of course, which he lied about. Oh my God. He stiffed her in more ways than one. Ugh,
he wasn't that stiff, was he?
God. What did she, was that an actual question? What was the length of your relationship? And she said about a minute. Her staring at the ceiling. Of course, missionary. Oh, God. And then he calls her a honey bunch. Mary Trump said, I have to
Ew.
tell you, that's like our family's term of endearment. How many times has he called Ivanka? Oh.
I just
Yeah.
think I'm gonna
You would not believe how much gayer I am than I was yesterday. This is why I'm wearing Love Trump's Hate, my gay shirt.
It says conquers, thank God.
Huh?
It says love conquers hate, which is a much better word.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Yes. All right.
I can
Also,
read.
I'm wearing this for you, Chris. You want to know why? Because I watched the Tom Brady roast on Netflix, and it was funny. But oh my God, straight men engage in a lot of homophobic humor.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh my God, that whole
This
Moscow
is news
sports.
to you?
Well, I've never watched a whole thing. I'm like, there's so many jokes about Tom Brady being gay, which he's obviously not. But Like, oh, I get it. That's a joke because ha ha ha, that'd be terrible if he was.
Back in the 70s, they'd use the F word for gay men.
Well, that's what I get the Bill Burr routine
Yes.
now about, men of a certain age. That's like a huge part of our vocabulary, and we're trying to, nobody, thank God, used that word.
This
But
is something that gay guys have dealt with for decades.
I know, but I was
like,
just struck by. I was like, oh my God, if you could count the number of homophobic jokes about,
It's wrong.
I mean,
I don't
one
like-
of them that stuck in
I
my
don't
head.
like
Who's that
roasts
big
in
guy?
general.
Grunk.
Not since Dean Martin.
The big, wide receiver, but he was. So he was doing his, like they all did jokes about Tom Brady being gay, because he's pretty, and I don't know whatever the whole theme was. But then he was like, there's someone specific guy they were saying, is Tom Brady's lover, and then they cut to the guy and they're laughing, everyone's laughing, like. And but anyway, he's like, then he's going, yeah, there they are, two gay lovers, and he's like, he did this thing, like with his hands, and I just was like, oh, I see, and that's uproariously funny.
No, it's not. I find it
Because
boring
the joke,
and dull.
Chris, is it would be
I know.
hilarious and horrible
I
if
know.
a professional athlete were actually gay.
I've been hearing this for decades. It's
I
not
feel like
news.
what you need to do is go to sexyliberal.com.
Yes.
If you would like to see how funny comedy can be without homophobia and sexism and racism, check it out. Sexyliberal.com. Okay. We are off to Madison on for
Saturday.
this Saturday.
Yeah.
It's very, very exciting.
Can't wait.
Yeah. No, it was, and I've met Nikki Glazer. She's hilarious. She got a standing ovation. It was filthy, as roasts are. It was
Sure.
filthy and, somewhat,
I'm not
and
a
a
fan
lot of it was
roasts.
hilarious.
I'm just not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Kevin Hart is 3 inches tall.
He's so small.
Maybe it's because there's a lot of big football guys, but he's literally like.
Well, I mean, him
yeah.
and The Rock. I mean, you can see that when they're together.
Right.
Yeah. This morning, Morning Joe was talking
Oh,
about
there
that
are a lot of
roast.
jokes about him being gay with The Rock too. Yeah,
sure,
a lot
of
of
course.
gay
Yeah.
jokes. Yes.
This morning, Morning Joe was talking about that roast, and they said the roasts were only funny when Carol Burnett was doing them in the 70s. I'm like,
Carol
what?
Burnett never did them.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think
Totally
she ever
not her
did
kind of
the
humor.
Dean-
No, Dean Martin did them.
Right,
Yeah.
but
And
Carol
she
Burnett
might
was-
have been on one of them.
I can't imagine her doing
I have
a
them at home.
roast.
Should I watch all of
Well,
them?
no, it's just
Yes.
like, that's not her
Is that my
kind of.
homework?
You can still
That's not her kind of humor.
you can still print all of Twitter, right?
Right.
Oh yeah, and get stories and edit sound bites. Sure, and then watch all the episodes of Dean Martin's roasts over the years.
That's just not her kind of humor. I don't
was
see
thinking
her doing that.
Hal.
No, she never did a roast.
I was
Yeah.
thinking of Hal Sparks and John Fugelsang, and is not just straight guys, but super great looking straight guy. They're hilarious, punching up. Like
Yeah.
none of you know what I mean. You can do. It's this whole like. Whoever Seinfeld, Bill Maher whining about wokeness killing comedy, and go to a Sexy Liberal show. You'll see how hilarious it is, and you don't. Guess what? You don't have to engage in that kind of punching down and homophobia and whatever. I mean, it's weirdly, Chris. It's a whole host of other subjects to talk about.
Yes.
Okay.
Like teabagging and Boberding.
Oh my God! Even Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck.
What happened to Ben? What did he do now?
The coach was there, Bill Belichick, and he was, I don't know, whatever their whole spat was. I don't support the sports anyway.
All I'm
You
hearing
talked
from
to
you
Carlos.
is sports.
He left Bill
sports.
Belichick something, right? Something.
Talk to
Tampa.
Carlos about it.
Yes.
Carlos is coming up in hour
Yes.
3. So
Yes.
talk
Yes,
to
you
him.
can
about
talk
it.
Also
to
does
him.
not engage in homophobic humor.
No,
No.
he does not.
Anyway, he said something about how Belichick treated Tom Brady, and he said, if you were my quarterback and got that many rings, here's what, and he went, like he was doing, he was,
Fellatio.
yes,
That's the correct word.
Tom Brady. And I was like, what is happening to the world? When did this become? Okay. Yep, here it is. This is the timeline we live in. Daniels recounts her famous story about spanking Trump with a roll-up magazine, swirling the imaginary magazine above her head on the witness stand. Question, where did you swat him? A, right on the butt. Also, by the way, she said he behaved much better after she spanked him. So there's something the judge might want to consider in addition to a gag order.
He's that guy.
In addition to jail, I'm just saying.
He's that guy. Did you ever
He
watch
needs to
Billions?
be connected.
Good actor.
Have you ever seen this TV series Billions?
No.
There's a whole bunch of that sort of thing, especially season 1 with Paul Giamatti's character.
Okay. All right.
Whole storyline about it.
Okay. Black Knight, our friend, says, what kind of weirdo tells an adult film star she reminds him of his daughter before trying to sleep with her?
Ugh.
Trump. Trump's that kind of weirdo.
Ew.
We kind of knew that before, didn't
We
we?
did.
Yeah.
We did. But still.
I know, but you know what, Chris? I think this is why, by all reports, he is just in hell, which could not make me happier. Because this is all the stuff he didn't want to come out. All this, this is all why he's still lying about this and why he paid hush money.
Cash
Because
money,
this is
yeah.
all icky, gross, right? Like personal behavior
Right.
stuff. Oh my God. Who was the whole, don't worry about Melania. We don't even sleep in the same bedroom. I'm like,
No
and first of all, speaking of macho male humor, straight maggot guys, satin pajamas. Oh my God, have you
That's just
God,
so
silk or satin pajamas? I picture that that picture of him from I don't know when it is. He's wearing that little girly white silk like nightie. It's not a robe.
A nightie?
It was
No,
a
it's a
robe.
robe. He's wearing like a
He wore a
little white
nightie.
silk
You know what? He
robe.
might wear nighties.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh my God, it goes to show you how the whole, him with the Rambo body and the.
Right.
If he had a Rambo body, he'd look great in silk pajamas.
At least I wear a sustainable bamboo.
Oh,
Atta
thank
man.
God. Thank you, Cozy Earth. Yes, Joss tweeted, turns out Orange Jesus wears silk PJs to just seduce women while his wife is at home. This is the messiah of conservative Christianity in the United States. How pathetic and embarrassing. I mean, I think he can only lose. I get there's a core that's not going anywhere, but I think he can only lose ordinary people that have any ick reflex at all, including some of, the conservative side. Covey tweets, today voters heard Joe Biden condemn anti-Semitism, and then moments later heard that Trump raw-dogged a porn star he said reminded him of his daughter.
I just think I'm gonna barf.
That's the other thing. It's like, I think she was more concerned about catching something from him, and rightfully so, than the other way around, because she was saying how strict the standards are in porn. You have to be tested every
Yeah, the
30
company that she worked for
Yeah.
also required condom use during
condom
shoots.
use, even with her husband,
Yes.
and she was saying, that they tested them every
all the time.
Right.
It's a
But
very
Donald-
regulated business.
Oh my God! It's a wonder she didn't catch anything from him because. Sorry, you know what? My gag reflex might be back. I never thought I had one, but Chris, this is. Woo.
You've never needed one.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, Randy Mayhem Singer said, "I will now, I will now inject bleach to get Donald Trump in satin pajamas out of my brain." Okay, that is a good use for injecting bleach to somehow clear your mind's eye of everything
bleach.
we heard yesterday.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
Brain bleach.
Yes. Is there such a thing?
Let's invent it.
Maybe a UV light. Maybe if you stick a UV light up your ass, somehow that would clear.